This is Tony DeThomasis at Mastering SAP Technologies 2012, and I'm with a guy who's no stranger to the SAP ecosystem, Michael Kirk. Tell me a bit about yourself and what you've seen here, please.
Okay, sure. So I work for SAP as an account executive looking after commercial customers, and I started in a technical role and moved into consulting, and then now joined SAP to sort of work with customers around how they help them to understand the solutions and how they can apply it to their business problems.
So some words of advice to the students of the Victoria University. What advice could you give to get started in the SAP ecosystem?
Well, I think certainly finding the people who know what's going on, such as Tony, is a very important point. I think even though it's a technology landscape, I think the personal aspects of it cannot be underestimated. So I would say understand who the key influencers are, try to get to know them, follow them through the SAP community network, and understand also through Twitter and YouTube and everything else. There's a lot of information available out there. You've just got to know where to look. And I think make sure you're always listening, learning, reading, and thinking about how can you apply this in the real world.
So Michael, how important is having a YouTube account? Do you have one? Do you have a Twitter account and a LinkedIn account? What have you got?
I have got a LinkedIn account. I think LinkedIn's very useful from a professional point of view. Think of it as a bit like having your CV online and connecting with people you've met and worked with.
Yep.
I think Twitter is fantastic for following people who've got a particular interest. So even if you don't feel you've got anything to say, you might not want to tweet about what you had for lunch. You might still, I found Twitter very useful for following interesting people who share links in a particular area. So I think it's a great information source. And YouTube, I used to think it was just about cats on surfboards. Now I realise there's a lot more to it, and I think I also have a YouTube account. Once again, I'm mainly listening. I'm not putting a lot of stuff out there at the moment. I'm mainly listening, but I've found all of those tools to be very, very useful.
Michael, great advice. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Tony.
This has been Tony DeThomasis at Mastering SAP 2012, and I approve this message.